You know, the conversation that she spoke about when I said, I'll marry you. It was like a bad time, and she was saying things like, you know, nobody's gonna be there for me, nobody's gonna support me, and she just kept shooting me down. So I was like, I'll marry you. It was worse. It was the worst mistake I ever made in my life. I got a message from somebody, and they said, Papoose, you don't know who I am, but I'm a big fan of you, and please, whatever you do, don't sound...
Remy and Papoose, the couple whom everyone admired and whose love story was believed to be unshakable, used to be Ma. For 6 years while Remy was imprisoned, Papoose was the epitome of loyalty. He never left her, never entertained other women, and made sure she knew he was so desperate to be near her that he even attempted to sneak a skeleton key into prison, jeopardizing his freedom. But if that's not true love, then what is? Did he give up when the system made it difficult for him to visit? Nope, he married her over the phone, making sure. No matter what, they remained locked in, and as soon as she left, he was there to make sure she had everything she needed, arrange their dream wedding, and give her the life she deserved.
And she just kept shooting me down. So I was like, I'll marry you. And she flipped on me. And honestly, I don't think it was the reason for her flipping on me was what she said. The reason why I think she flipped on me was because I took it like, and I felt like she's been lied to in the past, and men have such a bad reputation for not keeping their word, for not being loyal, for not being there for no one when they're going through hard times, and just not being faithful or loyal to their lady.
When they gave birth to their daughter in 2018, it seemed as though their love story had come to a happy conclusion. They were more than simply a husband and wife. They were a power couple, and nobody could ever separate them. Papoose was a proud father who loved his family unconditionally, constantly ensuring that Remy and their daughter were doing well. But despite the fact that everyone believed they had it all, something wasn't quite right behind the scenes somewhere along the line. Their relationship's energy changed, and even though they continued to post things like everything was as usual, something seemed strange, and people began to notice small details, but no one anticipated what would happen next. For years, Papoose had been faithful, but all of a sudden, there were suspicions that Remy wasn't giving him his all. At first, it was just whispers, but soon things began to accumulate, and suddenly the largest warning sign appeared. When Father's Day arrived, Remy made sure to give Papoose his flowers every year. So when he didn't mention him on Instagram or send him a heartfelt note, no one noticed right away, declaring to the world how wonderful a husband and father he was. But all of a sudden there was stillness, and fans began to worry what was happening and whether there was trouble in paradise. This was the moment that truly got people talking on the internet. Papoose shared a personal Father's Day message. People realized something was seriously wrong when he posted a family photo without Remy in it. In addition, Remy's child from a prior relationship was absent.
What I think about Pap and Remy, I think that it is very unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? Because I like them too. Very unfortunate, but you know, we don't be knowing what folk be going through behind closed doors, so we don't know what really happened. I remember I spoke on that one time, but I don't know what really happened. You know what I'm saying? What made everybody move the way they were moving. But I know know about shit, man. Like, it's crazy. I know about this shit. The marriage is hard. But I know one thing like that, you gotta have the right person. You have the right person, it won't be so hard.
And then the rumors became even wilder, with some claiming that Remy had been skulking around with battle rapper Easy, the block captain, and not just anybody else. If that was the case, then everything was on the verge of disintegrating. When Remy Ma posted a single word about Papoose on Father's Day, the internet understood right away that something was off. If you've been following them for years, you already know that Remy always made sure that show love to Papoose. On special occasions each year, she would post on the internet to express her gratitude to her husband, reminding everyone that he was one of the most genuine men in the game. However, this time nothing. No appreciation message, no tweet, and no Instagram post. Fans bombarded his comments with questions about where Remy was, why she hadn't posted about you, and whether everything was alright. After that, people really started to dig in. One person even wrote because Papoose didn't reply, the comment that said, "You married a woman who was never in love with you, but you were blindly in love with her. But now you're seeing the truth," sent the internet into a frenzy. Or ignore it, which said a lot.
It'll be like living life. Regular ups and downs, but you get with somebody that ain't right, but it's gonna tear your ass up. You're gonna wish you ain't never did that shit, and you probably, if you ain't strong enough, you probably ain't gonna never do it again. But I'm gonna do it again one day. I ain't doing no court.
Okay, so we're done spectating, speculating. Now it's just aggravating. Remy Ma and Papoose, it seems like are finally not together because her new dude or new boo had an audio saying she been in my bed. So I talked about this before. I forgot when it first came out. I think we were all blown away like, oh, you cheated on a man that held you down while you were in jail, which doesn't mean anything, by the way, okay? It's way easier to have somebody in jail and be in a relationship. All you gotta do is take them snacks, do conjugal visits, and, talk on the phone for a little.
Then the rumors got even wilder, with people claiming that Remy had been skulking around with battle rapper Easy, the block captain, and not just anyone else. If that were true, then everything was going to blow up, and the internet knew right away that something was wrong when Remy Ma posted a single word. Regarding Father's Day, Papoose, if you've been following them for years, you're already aware that Remy always made sure to express her love for Papoose on special occasions. Every year, she would go online and express her gratitude to her husband, reminding everyone that he was one of the most genuine men in the game. However, this time, nothing. No appreciation message, no tweet, and no Instagram post. Fans bombarded his comments with questions about Remy's whereabouts and why she hadn't posted about him in everything. Just when many thought things couldn't get any stranger, rumors began to circulate that Remy was having an affair with battle rapper Easy the Block Captain. However, this wasn't the case. Just some idle internet rumors, but there were real indications that something was happening. People began playing videos of Remy and EAS being too at ease with one another, their body language seeming a bit too familiar, and the fact that EAS was hanging out with Papoose, which only made matters worse. The thing about Papoose is that he doesn't tolerate disrespect. So when he learned that his own wife might be skulking around with Ease, he was prepared to deal with it. When the public began discussing what transpired when Papoose and Ease finally met, let's just say that things didn't go well for EAS when the rumors began. People weren't sure what to think when word spread that Remy was having an affair with battle rapper Easy the Block Captain, but it was obvious that Papoose wasn't going to overlook it. If there's one thing about Papoose, it's that he's always been about respect, and the thought of his own wife cheating on him with someone he knows was too much to bear. Ignore rumors that when Papoose and Easy finally met, things didn't go well for Easy. According to some, Papoose confronted him directly, and instead of arguing, he handled it the way real men do with straight hands. It seems like Papoose didn't even need to say much. He just swung first, and it was so easy that he was knocked out quickly. By the time people realized what was going on, the fight was over, and rather than take responsibility for what had happened, Easy took to social media to pretend he was the victim. He posted cryptic messages on Twitter, such as "You all want something bad to happen to me so bad," giving the impression that people were pursuing him pointlessly. Even attempted to criticize Papoose, claiming that real men do real things, Papoose, but guess what? Papoose remained silent, and that silence said it all because, had the rumors been untrue, he would have immediately put an end to them. He has always been the kind to defend his family, so if nothing happened, he wouldn't have just let people use his name to stir up drama. But the fact that he remained silent and allowed people to believe what they wanted was a clear indication that the fight was real and that the rumors about Remy were more than just gossip. At this point, the internet was certain that Remy Ma had made a huge mistake because the rumors were no longer just about cheating. Everyone wanted to know what Remy would do next because she had nowhere to go at this point. Then, people really started to dig, and someone even left a message. It was about Papoose actually touching the man she was accused of creeping with. In hip-hop, that kind of disrespect doesn't just go away. That comment alone sent the internet into a frenzy since Papoose didn't reply or refute it, which said volumes. It said, "You married a woman who was never in love with you, but you were blindly in love with her, but now you're seeing the truth."
All right, once you come home and you're back in the house and she want to redecorate, then that's the problem. I told you I live together. Look at this.
Remy Ma's situation worsened even more, and the block became easier. Any uncertainty about what transpired vanished the moment Gay Gotti was on the stage captain, when the battle rap community threw her on full blast. Wasn't going to overlook Remy's many cunning tactics, so he confronted her in front of a large group of people to make sure they all understood the truth. People were talking the most about Eazy's reaction because, rather than laughing it off or even denying it, he publicly exposed her in a way that went beyond simple battle rap disdain. Simply stood there taking it all in quietly, without replying or pushing back, and in battle rap, that silence is a sign of guilt. The crowd went crazy, the internet went crazy, and all of a sudden, Remy's image was falling apart despite her best efforts to remain composed. Pretending not to care, but she knew in her heart that the harm had already been done, and that what made it worse, Papoose had previously dealt with everything he needed to deal with, and was now moving on, so why was he still reacting? Proceed with boxing great Claressa Shields. This is where things became even more complicated because Remy and Claressa were acquainted prior to the commencement of all this turmoil.